welcome to Bollywood Bubble. How have you been?
I'm good. Thank you very much. How have you been?
All well. I think the last time we spoke was for an Insta Live, and that was during the lockdown. I think.
During the lockdown. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Was that for Marzi? Was that for Marzi?
No, it was just a general.
Generic one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I thought that was for Marzi. I'm just.
How has life been? It's been 8 months that, I am still home. You guys have started working. So how does it feel to step out?
Great. I'm already on my second show. I've already finished one. I'm shooting for my second one. So today's an off day. So therefore the interviews. But I think it's been quite good, yeah. I've never restricted myself from going out even during the lockdown. I was doing a lot of outdoor even through the lockdown. Not mingling with people, doing all solo activities like running and cycling and everything.
Yeah.
So I did enough of outdoor in terms of like building my immunity, working out, getting a lot of sun, getting tanned like mad. But I would think like because I think I had been pretty fearless about the fact that I was definitely sure that I was not going to do any activities with people. If there were people anywhere, I would just like leave that space, because I was like, I'm not going to be in a space where I have to be socially involved with like, say, more than 3 people apart from my own family. But having said that, yes, once the lockdown kind of lifted, work started. In August, I picked up my first show. It was a little scary to be on set at that time, but I think the way Sony Live organized the entire thing was fantastic, because the minute we got to set, there were temperature checks. There was a separate eating area for the artists. Then there was, and the studio that they had actually booked for us for shooting was a pretty massive one. So, all the artists were given like one room, and then our makeup artists and our hairstylists were assigned to us, and nobody was allowed to touch another artist. So they were only assigned to us. So our staff was all for us, and people had also reduced their staff. Actors had reduced their staff. Nobody else apart from the actors was like, they could not enter set if they were not wearing a mask. So there was a lot of protocols one had to follow when we had to be on set. And I think that was very reassuring. And then we realized that, we can go back to work, because this is the only way forward. Otherwise, people will not be working, and there'll be no, entertainment happening, because, we have to start shooting somewhere or the other. So I think that was reassuring. And now going back to my second set, we're again, following this, similar protocols. But obviously the sets change, spaces change, a lot of things change. But I guess the show must go on. One needs to just make sure that, that we're keeping our own immunities in place. We're making sure that we are staying safe.
This is one of the reasons why people are so inspired by actors. Because now that it's already 8 months, I know that our offices are also going to open, but I'm not very sure how are we going to deal with all of that. How are we going to sit at one place and do all of that? But when it comes to you guys, aap log ek second mein all just get up and you all are in your character, and I'm like, okay, 8 mahine se baithe the aur suddenly aise kaise? How does that happen? Ya thoda to idea do.
We are very greedy, I would say. हम लोग भूखे हैं actors के लिए. I think everybody was dying to get back to work, yeah, especially actors. And I think everybody from the film business was just like really dying to get back to work. In fact, I remember messaging everybody and like going like, okay, I need to start now. Like we need to begin whatever next. Like line up. It was literally like that, because I would have gone mad. I would have driven everybody mad at home. My parents. So like, the house only after a point. इसने बहुत सफाई कर ली है, इसने बहुत ज़्यादा cooking कर ली है, इसने बहुत कर लिया है. So I guess that's what happened, and I guess I think it also comes from the fact that we need to constantly work, and right now such a good time for actors. Yeah, we're getting such good roles, we're getting such good parts, such good shows are being made. So it would be foolish for anyone to leave work at this point. I think everybody wants to get back to work.
Absolutely. Also, I was told the reason that we are meeting, of course, is for Sister Sarla, and this is a play that's been going on from a very long time. So tell me, how has it been for you? How was it working with Makraan sir and everything? Just tell me how it was.
It was very special, yeah. Sarla is not a play; it's a I think it's homeland. It's home ground for all of us. This play has been like, it started in 2002, and that time the initial cast was Sonali Kulkarni, Anurag Kashyap, and Rajendra Gupta, and they performed that show. I think that play for about a decade before they stopped, and then they kind of revived it again with an entire new cast. So that has Makran Sir himself playing the role of Sir, and I'm playing Sarla. And there's Sanjay Dadich who's playing Fanidhar. That's another very key character. And Anjum Sharma, who plays my husband Keshav. And it was pretty interesting when they offered me that part. I knew that I was going to step in the shoes of a very big actor, because I think everybody who has seen Sarla remembers Sonali. And Sonali is such an integral part of that play. And I remember before the opening night, we opened in 2012 on Diwali night. And anybody who was meeting me, anyone, they were like, "You're stepping into Sonali's shoes." And I was like, "I'm going on stage." It was literally like that. So, it was just like, I know, I know what I'm like signing up for. And I know where I'm, where I stand, and I know where she was. And I understand, the entirety of the play and Sonali. But I was like, really, let me explore this myself. And I think that's what Maxa let me do and let Sanjay do. He let us explore our spaces, and that's exactly what theatre allows you to do. It lets you breathe, it lets you grow, it lets you nurture yourself, your character. And it's been 10 years we've been doing this place quite successfully. We have performed for 5 people, we've performed for 50 people, we've performed for 10,000 people, we performed in small auditoriums, in big auditoriums, in prosceniums, we performed in small towns, big towns, big cities, everywhere. We performed this play everywhere. And the response remains the same. It is one of the most loved shows. In fact, we have such fanatic audiences that वो हम लोग वो मतलब नाटक से ही नहीं जुड़े हैं. They have gotten attached to us. And मुझे ये पता है कि हर शो में ये बंदा तो आएगा ही, और ये बंदा अपनी पूरी फैमिली लेकर आएगा. There's one family that comes and sits in Prithvi Theatre. The front row is entirely taken by their family. Entirely. And there's another person, Suresh Shalar karke hain, who comes and he works for BST. He brings at least 10-15 people every time there's a show of Sarla. Every time. It is insane. I don't know how people have attached themselves with this play over the years. And for us, this play is very, very special. Like, I feel very privileged. I feel very proud. I feel very lucky that I've been part of such a big play, which is, such a well-known play in India. So I'm very, very grateful to Maxa.
And theatres is something that we all look up to, and we really respect. And also, theatres mein kaha jata, that's when they teach you in the beginning that acting is of 9 emotions and 9 different emotions that actors emote. So everybody has one comfort zone जो उनको लगता है कि वो सबसे easily pull off कर देंगे वो emotion. Which one is that for you?
I think crying comes very easily to me. You ask me to laugh on stage, I'll just freeze. I'll just be like, not to laugh, no. So that happens a lot with me. I think crying comes easily to most actors. And it's, I remember Dubeyji telling all of us once, crying is a trap. Don't get into that trap. And I don't enjoy crying, but Sarla requires, I remember when we were doing the show, I remember Maxa once coming and telling me, he was like, Ahana, I want you to be really I want that pathos, I want that drama in this scene. And I was like, but why in this scene? Why do you want it? And I was like, okay. Every time, me and him get into so many arguments. I go no, but I don't want to do this. And he's just like, just do it in the show. And I'm just like, fine, I'll do it. And it works. And I go how? He's like, because audiences connect with it. And, so there are lots of things. Sometimes I don't agree with my director. And then, we get into an argument and I'm just like, fine, I'll do it. It's just one of those things, where you have to just give it to what the director's saying. and that's why I love the play, and that's why I love our relationship, because it's amazing that, we don't always agree with each other, but we always have each other's back. And, we try new things, we keep experimenting, we keep working on scenes, we keep breaking the scene down and then rejoining it and then doing this and sometimes removing something. And so every time the show is so different. Every time we step on stage and I'm just like, okay, today we have to try this. Let's try this. Let's try this today in this show. So you're just constantly trying. So there's so much of trial and error that's going on. So it's such a great playground for all of us.
How spunky. You know, your vibe makes me want to question you this. I don't know from where does this come, but tell me the max that you've gone in terms of having a mood swing.
Every day.
What's the max that you do? Tell me. I mean, I can just make out with the fun that you have.
I'm very dramatic. Like I think I don't think I have subtle reactions to anything. And I think Max or Nasir, so they all know that. Like everybody because I think I love them, they love me. We are all, we've all known each other for so many years. We've all, like, they've seen me grow. They've literally seen me grow. So for them, like, I'm like their prodigy child, So I feel that they are so, their opinions matter to me. So I remember, like, I get into really crazy arguments with all of them. Like, if I don't agree with something, I'll just say it. And then they get mad at me. They're like, just don't listen to us. And I'm just like, it's like when I argue with my parents, it's the same way I argue with them. And it's like, everybody knows this. Like, everybody who knows me knows, like, how great a relationship I share with both these gentlemen. So my mood swings with them are sometimes just like some other level. But then I know that, at some point of time, we'll all be like, okay, fine, you know what, let's just, like, come to, like, one common ground. And it's just crazy. But that's why I love them. And that's why these two gentlemen have taught me so much, so much.
Now that I have this moment of having an interview with you, I'm also going to know about your relationship with food. But before that, I'm just going to take one question, because I don't like going really controversial, but just tell me one thing. That, a lot of people have been giving new names to nepotism. Abhi insider, outsider aa gaya hai. Fir 6 mahine baad dusra naam aayega. But it means the same thing, but it comes in different words. Of course, you, Touchwood, are successful and, a known face and very prominent everywhere. And we are very well aware of the kind of work you do. But when these discussions happen, what is your opinion? What do you think?
That it'll come and go. Don't take it seriously. It's not stopped any of us from getting work. I have never been not offered something because a producer's girl has got it, or like some child of some star has got it. I've never been refused work. I've auditioned for everything and I've got those roles, yeah. Whatever I audition for, I get. When I don't get that, and then I watch the show, I go like, I dodged a bullet. Thank God. Or it'll sometimes also be like, I watch a show and I go like, I auditioned for this part, but you know what? Actually, this one's done it better because this person looks the part. So I feel that it's fine, yeah. It's part of the job. Suck it up and move on, because if you're going to wallow in self-pity and you're going to just keep thinking about that, then you're never going to move forward. The only way I have moved forward is because I concentrate so much on myself that I don't have the time to sit and think about somebody else. I'll feel bad for like maybe a few minutes and then I'll be like, on to the next, like, let's find something else to do. So, it's fine. It doesn't matter. As far as you're enjoying. What the problem with our generation is that we have stopped enjoying the process. We want the result.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's what the generation earlier did. And that's why they're so content and so happy with their work. That's why their work is so much more better than us. We have so much reference from the actors of the yesteryears because they did not care about wallowing in self-pity and they did not care about the results. They cared about the exploration and the process. So enjoy the process, yeah.
And I must say, you're pretty much strong-headed. And like they say that, you need to be strong-headed if you want to survive through all of this, So that's really cool. Okay, so moving forward to your relationship with food. Okay, so tell me, my first question will be really basic. How do you usually start your day? Are you somebody who starts eating a lot, or are you light? You go very light.
I wake up hungry and I like my food. I really enjoy eating, and I've always been a thin, lanky child. I've always been the way I look. I eat a lot in the morning. I know a lot of people don't, but the nature of my job is such that if I have to get to set by 7, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock is my call time. I have to finish my breakfast by 7:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30. Because I know that once I get to set, I have no time to, I have to be ready on set by 9:30. because everything is clockwork in today's times. If you can't be on, you cannot throw a tantrum on in today's times and cannot be not ready for your shot, because if you delay a scene, then the rest of the day gets delayed. So you have to really be on clockwork. Everything is clockwork in today's times. So I begin my day early. I'm so used to eating a heavy meal in the morning. So I need like my anda bhurji, or I need like my bun pao, or I need like my fried eggs or something or the other, like in the morning. And I love eating my food and I love my juices in the morning. So I actually eat a lot in the morning. And then I don't eat. Also, like now on set, you're not allowed to eat on set. So yeah, those are also the new COVID rules. So you're not allowed to eat on set. You can step out of set and eat there. So there's like a special holding area for actors where there's always some food for me. So I'm always hungry. So I'm always like who's-awing myself with like some fruits or something. And then we break. I mean, I'm just talking to you about like work-wise, because that's what my life is right now.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon, I eat a nice heavy lunch. I eat all my dal, chawal, roti, sabzi. And obviously, like, an hour, like in my vanity, like all the actors come. So everybody eats together. So it's like a major picnic, in the vanity. So we eat a lot of food in the afternoon. And at night, I go a little like light. Unless it's a weekend and like families come over, then I'm always eating a lot. But on a regular day, like my meals are usually very heavy for breakfast. Then like the lunch becomes a regular, normal. That's also if you're calling it heavy. And then the dinners are pretty light. And then the next morning I wake up hungry. I go like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. But I work out in the morning. I run and all. And you need carbs to run. I run for about 12 kilometers or 10 kilometers very regularly. So I need a lot of carbs to burn. So I eat a very carb heavy meal also.
So, also they say that a girl always, when she doesn't get her food on time, gets really cranky. Are you one of them?
Yeah. Very angry. I need my food. Okay, I love food. And there's something like, I don't understand how people fast and all that, yeah, especially all these new things that I've been hearing, all this intermittent fasting and this fasting and that fasting and ye vrat or wo vrat. I'm just like, how do you do it? Please tell me, this has to have some logic to it. I can't. I don't know, yeah, how people fast, but I really need my food on time. Like at 1 o'clock, I think wo mere dimag mein clock बैठ जाती है. अच्छा मुझे खाना चाहिए. But I don't go off it. I'll just look very sweetly at my chief AD and be like, I think we should break for lunch. I can't take it.
Also like fashion trends, there have been a lot of diet trends. There's been keto, there's been blood group diet and God knows what not. Have you ever tried starting to do something like that? Ever?
Yeah, of course I've tried it and I hated it. I think I remember. No, yeah, I just feel like, when you do it, if you really require to like look a certain type for a role, I don't know. I've never really got anything that makes me want to look like that or I have to look like that. In fact, I think the lockdown was like a big eye opener for me. I started waking up very early. I started waking up at 6, whether or not it was a day off or whether till today I practice waking up at 6. I wake up at 6, whatever happens. So that's why I'm in bed by like 10:30, 11, like max by 11. I can't I'm in fact worried once night shoot begins, how will I work? Because I'll be so angry at night. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm so possessive about my mornings, So I like waking up early. I like running. I love getting the outdoors. I love the sun, and that's why, I just realized that this is how I want to live my life. Before a shoot, I'll just go for a run or, I'll do some exercise and I'll then get to set, because I think that has to be the way of life. It cannot just be like, मैंने आज कर लिया तो अब मैं अगले 2 महीने नहीं करूंगी और फिर मैं ये कीटो करूंगी फिर मैं चीटो करूंगी. I can't. And that's why I never have to. No, I'm serious. I never have to ever diet. I never have to be like कि मैं ये नहीं खाऊंगी, मैं वो नहीं खाऊंगी. I eat everything. Everything. In fact, I think I started doing theatre because I got so much food. So we used to get food, during our festivals, and I used to be like, "Aaj ye milega, aaj hum Bangalore जा रहे हैं, मैं तो ये खाऊंगी, मैं Hyderabad जा रही हूँ, मैं ये खाऊंगी, मैं Kolkata जा रही हूँ, मैं ये खाऊंगी." So and yesterday only, I think I was discussing that with my co-actors. I was like, I think we've all done theatre only for food, all our lives. We only done it because we were just like, अच्छा हम लोग Bangalore जाके ये खाएंगे, हम लोग Hyderabad जाके ये खाएंगे. So this is really. So I think most of the artists who I know, have had a mad and great connection with food. Major. So I am one of them.
Okay, also tell me if there's anything that you had that has been the weirdest in your life. सबसे अजीब चीज आपने जो कभी try की हो.
Food wise, I think for me the strangest thing I tried was when I was in Korea, and I tried the eel for the first time, and I just saw some eels floating around in the water in one restaurant, and I was like, ये try करना चाहिए. Thus, I should never be left alone. But in Korea, this happened a lot. I went to their food market, so they've got a huge food market. I don't remember the name of the food markets, but I was just walking around and I was just like, "Ye kya hai? Can I try it?" And then that lady would like make it and give it to me, and I'm like, "मुझे कुछ नहीं पता मैंने क्या खाया है, लेकिन मैंने खा लिया."
Oh God!
I've done a lot of that in a lot of Asian countries. It's just like roadside, whatever I found, I ate. It's just I've eaten. So all these things are weird sometimes, but they're pretty delicious. यार मजेदार होती हैं, खा लो.
एक ही life में सब try कर लो.
And then you can Google about it later, and then you'll be like, shit, I ate this.
Okay, last, your favorite restaurant and your favorite cuisine.
I think my favorite restaurant would be, there are two I love. I love so there is Chotu Bhaiya, who I absolutely love. He is in Lucknow, and he's my chaat wale bhaiya. And I've been eating my chaat, and I don't think anybody can make chaat like the Lucknowi chaat in Bombay or anywhere in the world. So I'm very possessive about my chaat. So my day in Lucknow begins with like Sharma ji ki chai. So you go in the morning at 6-7 o'clock. You get like this amazing chai with this cute, really amazing garam round samosa, and you get like this bun with malai inside. And that is like the most unbelievable breakfast. The most unbelievable breakfast. So that. Then in the afternoons, in the evening, whatever time, we go to, his name is Hardayal Maurya, but we go to Royal Cafe. And Royal Cafe में आपको एक basket चाट मिलती है. और आपको पता नहीं कितने types की वो पानी पूरी,
अलग-अलग, right.
So we get a lot of golgappas. So I eat a lot of that. And I love the different types of chaat.
You're making me hungry.
I'm going to eat chaat after this. And at night, you have to go to Tunde and eat the kebab and the biryani, because Lucknow is a very no-nonsense biryani. And I absolutely love that biryani. Also, I've started liking like Calcutta biryani. So Arsalan, another place where I absolutely love for biryani. And Calcutta in general for food, yaar. मैं तो मतलब Calcutta में सारा काम कर लूँ because of food.
मेरा मुंह पानी से भर गया, मैं question कैसे पूछूं? You've been naming such yummy things, and I have been to Lucknow and I have tried the kebabs. Yeah.
Outstanding.
I know. So basically, you like eating everything, yeah? है ना? जो भी मिलता है खा लो. सही.
Enjoy. I don't have one restaurant, and I can't put a finger. And Bombay, I'm still really to find that one restaurant that I absolutely love, because I just think like, because we get to travel so much because of our work, there are so many chotu restaurants that we try everywhere around the country that I like a lot of them.
I know, and I'd like to say that, thank you so much for being honest and telling me everything khul ke. And lastly, आपके जितने भी fans हम आपको देखने वाले through our interview, उनको एक message दे दो.
That I absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much. आप लोगों की वजह से मैं अलग-अलग roles try करती रहती हूँ. And it's like trying different cuisines, But I keep trying, I keep experimenting, and y'all keep watching. And I know so many people who keep messaging me things and saying that, that we know that the minute you are involved with a project, it's going to be of a quality one. And I think that says a lot. It really means a lot to me. I just try. I keep striving every day. But thank you so much. I know all of you all really love me, and that's why you'll watch all my work. But thank you so much, Drishti.
There's a fan question popping out. Are you in Khuda Hafiz too as well?
No, I'm not. I died.
but Bollywood, no. आप वापस से आ भी सकते हो.
You have to ask the director that. Unless Farooq is doing like one Mihir Birani with me,
Thank you so much, Ara. This was so lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Rishi. Take care.
Take care. See you. Bye.
Bye.